first thing, let's start from basics, is how to set up and use an instant URL. So I just want to show off some pages that we created with instant URLs. So let me see if I could do that. Here's one as an example. On the bottom right, you could see, of course, that I had put a talking face humitar on the bottom. He's doing his little spin there at the beginning. And then if I was to hit play, he'd talk. This is done with an instant URL. Now, if you look at the top of the screen, I'm going to highlight it. You'll see there is synthesis.io in the URL. And we came up with a way with the link shortener that we gave you as a bonus, and you'll get the link to that here today as well. We came up with a way that you can, at least for a short-term solution, hide that, so that if you do want to show this to a business, they won't see that it says synthesis.io, so that they won't go looking around for the software. You'll be in control, if you see what I'm getting. That's what so many of you have asked us about. Here's another example. This is actually interesting because you gave me this on an original webinar, this particular site. And you said, put a talking face in front of it. And I did that there as well. This is not only an example of doing the same thing, but this is a reface. Now, refaces don't move at the beginning. The reason why the reface is so important in this case is because one of you on the webinar said, please go to my LinkedIn, grab my face, and I'm going to show you during this webinar today how you do that. I'm going to give you an example of how to go grab a face. And then we actually took his face, put him in that a younger man, all right? I don't think he'd mind if I'd say he was a little older. And it gave a very realistic refacing that looks kind of like him. I mean, it's not him because it's just the face. It's not the hair. It's not the suit. It's not the body. It's just the face that was refaced here, but it looks a whole lot like the original guy on the webinar. I'm sorry I forgot your name. You're probably on the webinar. I forgot your name. I feel so bad. Yeah. Okay. This is the link shortener, and I will show you that in just a moment. And one of the things I wanted to mention is I'm not for sale, by the way, my Humitar, but I wanted to just mention that I do use the instant URL feature in my own promotions. So, for instance, this is a promotion for Sell It Picks that I sold yesterday from a friend of mine, Cyril. Now, Cyril from Technic Force put together a product, Sell It Picks. I was the voice of the actual video here, as a matter of fact. And what I was able to do was introduce this even one step further by putting myself on this page. So it gave, I wrote here on the button, I said, press the play button. And then, when you press it, I think you'll be able to hear this. Hey, gang, there is a video that's just over on the left-hand side of the screen there. Scroll down a little bit from where you see me right now, and then you'll see the video. Press the play button on that video. You'll learn all about Sell It Picks from me as I discuss how you could break through the ice with picture messages on social media. Do it right now. Okay, now, gang, there is the reason that I am showing you this, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I want to show you that it is possible to make Humitars of yourself. That's what I did. All right. It takes work, but there's a way that it could be done. It takes a lot of work. And by the programmers, it takes a lot of work. I just had to record myself several times and then give the recordings in, and then boom, I was able to make a Humitar out of myself. This is me. This isn't my face, just my face. This is actually me made into a Humitar. That's one reason I wanted to show this to you. The other reason is I wanted to show you up here how you could still see the synthesis.io domain name. And you folks were asking to be able to hide that. And I wanted to show that we are able to hide that. I put my own domain in there, and we give you instructions, and I'll start you out showing you how to do this in a minute. I just wanted to show you that it is possible to hide that domain name with our link shortener. And I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up and I'll show you how to set up an instant URL. It's very simple. I'm sure that you've probably already done this. Please bear with me as I show this to you. This is exciting stuff. I'm so glad you're here. All right. So, yeah, this is the instant URL right there, but let me show you where I got it from. So this is the video, all right? I created it, and you all know how to create these. We've done this before. You create it by going to Talking Faces, and then you go to create a talking face. You don't necessarily have to select the talking face first. You could go straight to create a talking face and select the talking face there. I could show this to you later in the webinar if you're not clear how to do that, how to create a talking face. But that's the bare minimum you should have already known, is how to create a talking face. Then it throws that talking face into my talking faces, all right? And that's what you have here. It's funny because reface actually should have been one step further down, because that would be the next step if you want to do any refacing. That comes after this step. So reface probably should be number 4, not number 3. All right, so the first thing you would do is, if you wanted to go in order, you could select a talking face. Let me ask you guys, before I just gloss this over, how many people need me or want me to show from scratch how to create a talking face first? Or do you give me a 1 in the box if you need me to show that, and a 2 if you already know how to do that? A 1 or a 2. If you already know how to do it, you want me to skip that. 2. 1 if you want me to show that. Remember, there's a 5 or 10 second delay. All right, it's evenly split. I'll go over it briefly. So let's start from scratch. We'll go to select the talking face, and then you could select the talking faces here. And then you could then say create video. So that's what I did, is I used this one, which isn't available to you because this is my own. And if you want one for yourself, pay attention later in the webinar. Okay, so that's what I did. And now that I've selected that, of course, the next thing you would want to do is you would just put on the upper right a video title. It's now thrown me into step 2, by the way. So if you click on Talking Faces, it's now thrown me into create a talking face once I selected it. You could have selected it from the left-hand side of your screen. See how I'm scrolling down? You could have done that and skipped that first step, but let's do this in order. So video title, next thing, choose style, full body or circle. In this case, only full body is available to me. Next thing would be to select the emotions. The emotions are those beginnings. I don't have an emotion connected with mine. In fact, let's go back and select someone else's, a different one. So we'll start from the beginning. Talking faces, select a talking face. All right, and I'm going to pick one like this guy, Adrian. Create video. We could have previewed it, but we went to create video. We could pick circle or full body. Don't forget the title. Circle's larger, but misses some body movements. Then select emotions. He has some funny ones, like this one, number 3. That's the beginning. Next thing you do is you could pick a call to action. The call to action would be with button text, button link, the link that you want the button to go to. Or you could do countdown timer. And I urge you to go to the instructions if you're not clear on how to do any of this. And the next thing you could do is you could pick some of the controls. If you want this to play automatically, if at all possible, which most browsers won't let you do, you click that, play video if possible. Another important thing to click is show preview after video. So after video plays, you'll see this again, what you're looking at right here. Those are the 2 that I always recommend. And if we scroll down further, you see the playback controls. Load video immediately is what I usually do. You could do it when someone exits, or you could do it with a timer. And the position, you have a choice of bottom right, upper left, bottom left, that sort of thing. See that? And then you'll want to put some script in here. Hi, my name is Adrian, and I am a talking face. And then you'll want to choose a voice. If you did purchase my voice, then this is where you would find me under the males. I'm a male voice. If you didn't purchase my voice, of course, some of the great voices are in there. Shane is an upgrade voice, and that's a really good one. And then you could preview how the voice is going to sound. Agree to terms, play.
Hi, my name is Adrian, and I am a talking face.
Okay, so it plays. And in order to get the lips to match up to that, you have to obviously go render it. And when you do render it, it's the bottom right. It says create. You would click create, and then it will actually throw that into the next thing, which I talked about here, is My Talking Faces. And after you make My Talking Faces, that's when you could then do some refacing. All right. So let's go to My Talking Faces. I'm going to leave this. Mine was already made. Remember, we were talking about the Sell It one where I was doing a promotion. Then, how did I get that page in there? How did I get myself over the actual page, the sales page? I pressed the lower right-hand side. Let me show you that again. I'm going to close that. Everybody see this? This little thing, it says instant URL settings. That's not just instant URL settings. That also includes the embed code. Very important. You know what this is on the bottom right. You click that. Now, here is what I want to show you. You put the name of the website you want to be underneath the Humitar talking face. This is really important right there. So I actually put the link to the sales page for that product, Sell It Picks. I put it right here. This was actually the link for that. And then from there, it's now going to spit out an instant URL. There's only one problem. There's a couple of problems with that. Number one, that is going to show, as I said before, the domain synthesis.io. If you want to show this to a client, you may not want them to see that. We do have a way around that, which I'm going to go over. The other thing that's really important is the embed code. There's two ways to do the embed code. One is a custom way that we show you, taking the actual video number, and that's also going to be on the information page that we're going to give you today. But the main way to do it is to just grab this embed code right here, right what you're looking at, copy it, and then you could put that in the header tag of any HTML page. In the header tag. Now, why is this so important? This is really important because you don't have access to everybody's HTML code to show them this. You could try to get access, but it's not going to be real access. You're not going to really have access to their site, but you can show it to them using that instant URL. In other words, remember before when I showed you this, Joe Skirty Sales? You think they gave me their web page and I put the embed code in? No, I just went on Google, I grabbed the site, and I put this guy right over it.
I would like to invite you to visit our car dealership where we will be knocking down prices by $5,000 on any vehicle you select before Christmas.
Now think about it for a moment. Think about how powerful that is. You could go to Joe Skirty himself and show him that. You grabbed the background page, you put this over that, and you made this look so much better than the original. That's not actually his site that he sees, but he will now see it the way he should see it. That's what the instant URL does. However, What if you were to go back and sell him that embed code right here? Rent it to him on a monthly basis for at least $97 a month. Now, you or he could go in, put it into his header tag, and he could use that as long as you want him to. Just be upfront and say, we're renting you this. We could remove that video at any time, which you can. How could you remove the video? Well, here it is. Well, that's not the exact video, but if I go down here, I'll find it. I'm just going down through the pages here. Here, it's one of these. So it's like this over here. It says David Test or. It's one of these guys. I'd have to play it. I didn't mark it clearly enough to know. But like, for instance, this says law firm example. If I was to remove this and I'm showing this for a law firm.
Let us win you the money that you deserve. Click here to get started.
Yeah, that's the law firm example.
Let us win you the money that you deserve. Click here to get started.
That's on the lower left. I just clicked this so that we could preview it. I want you to know that if you remove this video and you gave them the embed code, it won't work anymore. All right. So you are in control of that. Then when they say, oh, we're sorry, we should have paid you and here's your money, you could just make a new one and give them the new embed code. Okay. Another big question you've been asking is how could you really edit these properly? And the way to edit it is to do a copy. So there are certain things that you can edit, but you can't edit specifics like the script. So if you really do want to do a full edit of what you've created, then you see this over here in the upper right-hand side, it says duplicate. All you do is you press duplicate, and now you'll have an exact copy of this, and it will bring you into the full editor. All right, and you could edit it and then give over the new code. So you always have to get, when you do edit, you do have to give the new code to them, the new embed code. But if you want to remove the video entirely because they're not paying or your trial is over, you just remove the video. So you're in control. But if you want to show them what it's going to look like, you'd use the instant URL. That is my point. And it's pretty exciting because in the software itself, if we go back to, let's see, I'll go back to page 1. The page 1 would be the latest videos. It's pretty exciting to me that these videos can be made to play over a blank white page very easily. And the way you do that is if you go in, remember I told you before about the instant URL settings, and you want to put in something in here, your site URL, right? Well, let me see if I could find one where we didn't put anything in. This is a Flowers by Webster one. Here's one. All right, so you see this? I'm going to unclick this. See how it just says yoursite.com? That means that nothing's been put in there. If I was to take the link, copy it, right? I'm copying the link, edit, copy, and our beta testers all showed me this. Now I'm going to open up a new tab and I'm going to paste and go. The actual talking face will show up on the lower right-hand side, like you see on the lower right-hand side of your screen. He's a cool guy, the way he points, right? And notice he's against a white background. Now, why is this important? Let me just check something here. He was not supposed to have include powered by Talking Faces logo there. I'll have to check with Oliver why that happened. Or maybe because I didn't press save. Save. That's why. All right, now I'm going to do the instant URL again. It will be the same. I'll just hit refresh. It'll be the same. I'm refreshing. And he'll pop up. Yeah, this time he's alone. All right, so now you see what I can do. I happen to have Snagit, but you could do this with so many different pieces of free software. Now, in going to capture this little guy here on the lower right-hand side, I'm going to capture his video. All right, I'm actually capturing his video right now. All right, and then I press stop. Then I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to go to a site called EasyGIF.